have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
For we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I'm Minister Ricky Woodson, and thank you for joining us on the Woke Left. The word woke, the definition of the word woke have changed tremendously throughout the years. The GOP definition of woke is totally different from the left wing, or I should say the Democrat definition of woke. But we're going to cover what it really means, and also we're going to also look at some clips and show you that some people, they are anti-woke. They're anti to what the word really means. It's what we call an African-American colloquialism, if you will. So the meaning of woke, and we're gonna cross some of those. We're gonna talk about that today. We're gonna talk about a few other things. But I just want to show you this clip from Fox that they're anti-woke.
Woke politics.
Woke diversity consultants.
Woke prosecutors funded by George Soros.
Woke critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Woke lady superheroes.
Woke immigration activists.
Woke mayors.
Woke anti-Semitism.
Woke movie remakes.
Woke library displays.
Woke bail reforms.
Woke time capsules.
Woke protesters.
Woke nonprofits.
Woke economics.
Woke media.
Woke generals.
Woke judges.
Woke comedy.
Woke, etc.
Woke journalists.
Woke scientists.
Woke millionaires. Woke billionaires. Woke HR department.
Woke CEOs.
Woke Oscars.
Woke newsrooms.
Woke publishers.
Woke Hollywood.
Woke music. Woke dating. They're all extreme. They've all been infected by the woke virus.
Okay.
How do you know if you woke if everyone's woke?
For those unfamiliar with the expression, the Urban Dictionary defines woke as being aware and knowing what's going on in the community.
Woke was originally supposed to be just being aware of social issues, social justice issues.
I admire it now. Now I think I'm going to be pro-woke.
America is waking up. Perhaps we are even woke.
The Webster Dictionary definition of woke is this. It's a slang term that is going mainstream. It's a slang term that have went mainstream, but the GOP have took the word and have changed the definition. They have took the acronym, or I should say the word or the slang term woke. They have took that and did it just like they did defunding the police. They took that meaning of defunding the police that the term the left used, and they took that as being, we want to get rid of the police or we want to take money from the police. No, that term defunding the police was the term that the GOP took and changed the definition of, as well as several other terms that was taken out of context. This critical race theory, the critical race, the CRT. They took that CRT, they took that acronym, and they took that definition and changed it to something that it's not. They changed it to something that their low information followers will take and weaponize it. So they took the term defund the police, that term, or that phrase, they took the CRT and changed the definition of that. And also this term woke, or this acronym I should say, they took that also and tried to change the definition of it. But the Webster Dictionary says that woke is a slang term. Now who uses slang mostly in America? To answer that question, who uses slang mostly in America? It's a slang term that have went mainstream. But stay woke and woke became part of a wider discussion. Immediately following the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. The word woke became entwined with the Black Lives Matter movement. Now keep in mind that the GOP, or I should say the white evangelical white right wing, would take any term that black folks use and try to change the definition as if we don't know what we're talking about, or as if we don't know what we want the definition to mean concerning acronyms that we come up with. And that have always been the case. So it became entwined with the Black Lives Matter movement instead of just being a word that signifies awareness of injustice and racial tension. See, it was a word that was used to signal the awareness of injustice and racial tension. It became a word of action. That's what the word was. It became a word of action. It was a short term or a slang used to bring awareness to injustice and racial tension. But the white right-wing evangelicals and the white right-wing racists took it and tried to change the meaning of it. And it would run on conservative news outlets, or I say conservative outlets, not necessarily news, because a lot of it is nothing but propaganda. But it's aired on that network or those YouTube channels for they low-informed listeners, or I say they low-informed followers, will be all mixed up, and that'll keep them continually against black folks or continued against injustice or racial tension that's going on here in America. So the woke, it became a wider discussion, and activists were woke and called on others to stay woke. In other words, it was activists that was woke, and they was calling others to be aware of the injustice and the racial tension. See, woke carries the connotation of a shift in perspective. It wants you to change your mind about exactly really what's going on. That the systemic racism, the police brutality, the injustice in the systems that in America. While other white wing evangelical GOP, the Trump cult or the mega crowd don't want to discuss this. They'll just say they're anti-woke because they don't want to face the reality that America haven't went as far as she should concerning injustice and racial tension. So they want to be anti-woke. But the quote unquote woke carries the connotation of a shift in perspective, a waking up from the comfortable fantasy about the world and realizing that it isn't what you thought it was. You know, for black activists, it implies action. So you wonder why when something happens, people continue to go out and we're gonna go out and we're gonna march, but they go out and march and then they let their representatives try to work on legislation like we're still in the big fight about the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And how many years ago since George Floyd had died and Derek Chauvin went to prison? But we're still, it's still hung up in the Senate, it's still hung up in the Congress, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. It's hung up. But the main people that's holding it up is the one that's anti-woke.
Biden made it clear today he'll be a woke president.
He's gone full wokerista.
Biden's woke Washington, it's not going to end well.
Now we see the wokeification of the Department of Defense.
Biden's woke State Department. Now NASA has gone woke.
It's scary when you hear the Federal Reserve go woke as well.
Meanwhile, the Biden DOJ is bringing the woke crusade to America's police departments.
It means a woke militia policing our cities, enforcing Democratic Party orthodoxy.
As all this is happening, the Pentagon is more concerned about being woke than about preparing to kill our enemies.
The West Point Military Academy is going woke.
The Secretary of Defense is forcing wokeness training on everybody on active duty.
Raytheon, biggest defense contractor, one of in the world, they're going woke. The people that are building missiles to kill our enemies are now woke.
But like anyone in the minority who's prominent and visible, they have their opinion about race. There's several people, there's lots of people, matter of fact, there's lots of people throughout America have their opinion on race. They have their opinion about race. And talking to them, they have shifted a way that I think about it. My own experience centers on this. The challenges and experiences of black people and other people of color have a difference from white people that I deal with. That's my perspective. The challenges that black people experience and other people of color are very different from white people. Now some people say, well, that wasn't a hard conclusion to come to. Well, after I've talked to different ethnic groups, after I've talked to Hispanics, whites, blacks, I've just come to the conclusion that black folks, people of color, and white folks, they deal different with injustice, or they deal different with what's going on in our society. And that's just true. That's the truth of the matter. See, that's things that white people don't have to worry about. See, they don't have to worry about people assuming that they're criminals if they happen to walk up on them in a hoodie or a sweatshirt. But you let a black guy walk up on someone in a hoodie or a sweatshirt, the first thing they come to mind that this is a criminal. So they don't have to worry about, do the doctor understand their medical conditions or their medical issues. I'm talking about white people. But people of color do. They don't have to worry about whether their children would be treated fairly in school. They don't have to worry about that. But these are some things that black people and people of color have to worry about. So when we start talking about woke, the anti-woke don't have to worry about what I mentioned here. Or should I say the white ring evangelical, they don't have to worry about those things. But we as people of color, we're up against those kind of things every day. Basically, they don't have to worry about making a way in the world and to be treated fairly. Privilege. And some people say, oh, come on, you're saying that, yeah, privilege. Because there's some things that you don't have to worry about because of the skin of your color, the color of your skin. The color of your skin, you don't have to worry about. It's privilege. Because unlike me, as a black man, I have to be careful doing a traffic stop. Unlike me, as my wife as a black woman, she have to wait in a long line to vote. Or Asian women have to continually get asked, where are you from? Or Hispanic families have to live here 25 years, but must continually prove that they're citizens. Let me back up. I say, unlike me, I got to be careful at a traffic stop as a black man. And like me and my family, we have to wait in long lines just to vote. As Asians, they'll continue to ask where they're from. Now keep in mind, we're all Americans. And as Hispanic families have to live here 25 years and have to continue to prove that they're citizens. They all have to do more than just make a way in the world and be treated fair. But y'all saying that we don't need to stay woke. That's the name of my. That's why I named this program the Woke Left. You can hit me on Instagram. You can hit me on my Facebook page. Just look up the Woke Left, and you'll see our content on there. It's the Woke Left because we are on the left side. We're on the left side. We're on the left, and we'll continue to stay woke. So see, but it's a fight about this term wokeness because all the anti-woke, or I should say all the people that's against justice. I say they're against justice. They're for injustice. The people that's against everyone being treated fair. They're against equality. They're against LGBTQ. They're against gays. They're against abortion. They're against all the things that in the society that we live in you should be for. It's a fight over wokeness. See, conservatives are now bashing Democrats with wokeness. They use the term because, like I said earlier, they changed the definition of it. The definition of it from the right wing is different from the real definition, which this is the term that we created, but they took the definition and changed it. And like I say, just like they did the defunding police, just like they did about CRT, all the definition changed to fuel their low-informed watchers or their low-informed followers that they can be ignorant to the fact of what we're really talking about. So conservatives, GOP, has bashed Democrats for the term wokeness. To them, wokeness is not black activism or racial justice. They reframe it as political correctness and extreme points of view. So the GOP conservatives, their definition is political correctness and extreme point of view. That's what they're saying we're accused of. But black activists is black activism and racial justice. That's what it is. The governor in Georgia, Brian Kemp, blamed the woke culture movement. He used the term, quote unquote, the woke council culture movement for the criticism of the new Georgia election laws that try to stop black folks from voting. So we fight against trying to have a right to vote, which Dr. King them had already took care of it back in the 60s. But the Georgia governor, Brian Kemp, blames, quote unquote, the woke council culture movement. See how they'll weaponize it. They'll take that term and they'll say, oh, we're anti-woke because the Democrats trying to go to the extreme. A Democrat, James Carville, told Vox that wokeness is the problem and everyone knows it. No, wokeness ain't no problem. He a white boy out of Louisiana, so he may be a Democrat. You show me a white boy that's his age that live in Louisiana that don't have some kind of racist bone in his body. Get the hell out of here. So even though he's a Democrat, I don't agree with James Carville. Wokeness, he say, woke, quote unquote, wokeness is the problem, but everyone knows it. It's a problem to you because you're an old white man that live in Louisiana, and I'm sure that you don't give a damn about injustice or don't give a damn about equality because you're an old white man that live in Louisiana that got enough money and probably got enough land, so you don't give a damn about how other people are treated. So I don't agree with James Carville. And I listen to him all the time whenever he come on MSNBC or CNN. Just want to see his take on the different issues. But he don't know what the hell he talking about. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. So I don't agree with him on that. Because keep in mind, that was just as many white people that's Democrats than as Republicans. So it ain't about you being white. It's about your perspective. It's about your perspective. Do you feel as though that everybody should be treated fair? Or do you think the white folks supposed to run every damn thing? But if you listen to conservative media, they have you thinking that everybody's trying to make the young white folks feel bad because they white. And it's a lot of mixed couples now. Matter of fact, I have relatives that's mixed couples. Beautiful children. But if their perspective is that no one but white folks should be treated fairly, I tell them to go to hell too. Must I go on? But if you listen to conservative media, you have them thinking that we won't want no police in our neighborhood, and we walk around telling white folk that you should feel bad about what your forefathers did to my forefathers. That ain't the issue. But they'll make you think that. They'll make you think. I'm sure that there are plenty of black activists who will accuse me of making my own definition of woke. I say I'm sure that there's a lot of people that's watching this video that would say I'm making my own definition of woke. They accuse me of making my own definition of woke. But the problem isn't me. It is Republicans. I say that again. I say it's a lot of people might think I'm making my own definition of woke. It ain't me, my friend. It's the Republican Party. It's the Trump mega crowd. It's the Republican Party, the Trump mega crowd. It's the GOP white ring evangelical cult that have changed the definition or tried to change the term or the definition of the term for their low information viewers that they can still be against black folks. It went mainstream and also on the fringes. In other words, it's on mainstream media and also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and even on TikTok. Everybody that went woke. Or everybody that went anti-woke. Which one are you?
Wokeism is like a religion, and that it is on a culture clash with Christianity.
They supported riots and worshipped wokeness.
The woke mob is a cult.
The woke mob is never satisfied. They always want more scalps.
What's so scary about the woke mob, how often you just don't see them coming.
We need to evolve and change our language in order to satisfy the woke warrior class. It's wokeism.
The hyper woke.
The ultra woke.
Uber woke.
The woke karate.
The wokers.
The woke folk.
The woke-topians.
Those wokesters.
Wokeaholics.
Wokeristas.
Woke gone wild.
You know, wokest.
Super wokeness.
Honestly, if you could get 80% of white America to realize that there are black, Hispanics, Asian neighbors are humans with families. I said something was ignored enough. I said a lot right there. You need to underscore that. Matter of fact, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, you need to subscribe now so you can see more content like this. You need to hit me on Instagram. You need to hit me on Facebook. Because what I just said mean a world of difference. I said that if we could get 80% of white America to realize that their black, Hispanic, and Asian neighbors are humans with families who have to deal with extra challenges every day just because of who they are. You need to quote me on that. If we can just get the large majority of white people to realize that us as blacks, our Hispanic friends, our Asian friends, our LGBTQ friends, we are humans with families. We are humans with families who deal with extra challenges every day just because of who we are. And we are well on our way of making a change in social justice. So may you be, whatever side you may be on, you may be anti-woke, or you may be woke, or you may be a person for injustice, or you may be a person for justice. Whatever side you take, it don't matter. But I just want you to realize that we as others, or we as people that's not white, is continuing to make change in social justice. If you think that we're going to stop pressing the issue about being treated fairly here in America, you got another thing coming. 80% isn't going to be marching on the street or facing down police. But they would be willing to elect Democrats who would change laws and to put in exclusive, intolerant laws, enforcement in place. And we'll appoint judges that will protect our civil rights. I say we may not be marching on the street to face down police, but we will be electing Democrats who will change laws and appoint judges that will protect our civil rights. So we may have marches, but we will continue to elect people, judges, and our representatives that will protect our civil rights. So if you think that we've let our forefathers come before us in the 60s and set laws in place, the Voting Rights Act, the housing, all the laws, as you see on the screen, all the laws that Dr. King them fought for in the 60s, if you think we're going to let those laws not continue to be, and we go back into segregation, or we go back into where it was back when my mom and them was kids, if you think that's going to be the case, you got to fight on your hand. That's not going to be the case. One by one, there are people that's coming more woke about their neighborhood struggles and about as woke as they are going to get. It's a lot harder to come out against the idea that my neighbor is human. If you don't think that your neighbor is human, then you'll treat him like shit.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.